Good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. I was going to say Monday night, but it's not. It's Tuesday night. It's all over the place. You take some time off work, and everything goes all over the place. Anyway, it is Monday night. Let me just double check this before we go any further. So we've all seen the. First of all, has anyone? I was trying to look through some comments. Has anyone spoke to Jason Quinn? I know that he was going into hospital, and I just wanted to know if he was okay. Should he had some lumps on his throat. I'm just hoping that he's okay, and if anybody's heard from him, let me know. I just wanted to get that one out the way first of all, just to see how he is, because I do keep tabs on you lot in the community, you know. You wouldn't think so. You think I just come on and rant, but no, I do keep tabs on a lot of people in the community, and I hope that he is doing well. So let's get talking about Celtic. Brendan Rodgers had the interview today, and Brendan Rodgers had the press conference today, and I've got to say, it was a bit more relaxed, and I think Brendan Rodgers looked a bit more relaxed. It was interesting to see Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers is definitely a changed manager since he's came back to Celtic. He's definitely a changed. I like your France pass. you know it, mate. It's all good. So yeah, I think Brendan Rodgers, when we look at it, there's a couple of unanswered questions. Whilst I trust Brendan Rodgers and everything that he's done at Celtic and everything that he's doing at Celtic, and I still believe that he's the right man for the job, I've never disputed that. And I've always said that he's going to be here till at least minimum the end of his 3 years. I've stuck by that since day one, since he came back. I have always said that. And I think that Brendan Rodgers now, with that interview today, and him saying that he's not going to let it upset his happiness. He's not going to let it. He's not going to. Baz, has any cunt been sacked yet? Says Brown Warrior. When Brendan Rodgers is all calm and it's things out with his control. Now, there's a few questions that I think the fans would like answered. The fact that it's looking like Kyogo wanted away in the summer, and Celtic said no. It does look like that Kyogo wanted away in the summer, and Kyogo wanted away to go to a different league. So Kaiser was right with that one. Which it does then lead to other questions about the summer window, and what I said this morning about the fact that Dice and Maida may look to move on, and Rio Hatate. Now, a lot of people will say it doesn't matter about Rio Hatate, but Brendan Rodgers, Brendan, sick of arguing with fans that accept mediocrity. Yeah, that's why I don't look. When I finished the video this morning, I decided not to look at anything online to do with Celtic all day, and I just went and I just had a nice day, really. So yeah, but yeah, when you look at it, Brendan Rodgers saying, look, there was a situation that was out with our control when it comes to players, and if that's the case, either Brendan Rodgers is in full control of the recruitment department and will not accept mediocre players coming in. Will not accept players coming in for the sake of it, and which I think is a good thing. I do think is a good thing. I don't think that we could have rushed out and got any old striker in on loan. And I think that if Brendan Rodgers really wants to have Mateus as his first choice, if that's who he sees, and he's waiting till the summer. I mean, I know there was some of the websites have come out today and said that he's going to wait till the summer. Brendan Rodgers never came out and said that. Until I see Brendan Rodgers say it with his own lips that we're waiting till the summer to get Mateus, I think that Celtic will have moved on by then. I think that the Mateus one is the ship sailed with that one. But anyway, Brendan Rodgers, and there's another situation that hadn't been resolved either. Well, we're all under the impression that a young Daniel Cummins will not be involved in first team football. Let's just put that out there. People saying, I noticed that there were some people saying online that Daniel Cummins will now be in the squad because he didn't leave Celtic. Daniel Cummins will be nowhere near the first team squad. He will not be. If he's not going to sign a contract, Brendan Rodgers will not bring him into the fold. He's not done it before, so why would he do it now? Why would they bring Daniel Cummins? And I don't believe that he would bring in. I don't believe that Brendan Rodgers would change the way that he treats players. So I can't see Daniel Cummins being part of the equation between now and the end of the season, due to the fact that what Brendan said today. He spoke to the backroom staff and they spoke about Johnny Kenny. He's came on, and I said that when we seen him that first game back, is the physical aspect of him. He's improved his physicality. He's a lot bigger and stronger than he was when he first came to Celtic, and it's a case of that's what we've got to deal with, and that's the way we go on. We've been moaning for a long time about players not coming through the academy. And now we've got one that's got a great chance and a great opportunity. And let's hope that he grabs it by the horns, and let's hope that we've got a full front line of Irish. There could be nothing better at Celtic. There could be nothing better at Celtic than a full front line of Irish fighting for the cause. Fighting for the cause. And Daniel Cummins is going. Daniel Cummins is holding Celtic. Daniel Cummins will not get anywhere near the first team. He may be in the squad for the Champions League, but I don't think so, because Johnny Kenny will be in that first team. So nothing wrong with Rocky, except he never gets time to prove himself. I think that Rocky is a player he's had that many injuries at his time at Celtic. Celtic are now doubting his ability to stay 100% fit through the season. I like the look of Kenny at Ross County, Chilpo says. Yeah, so did I. And I think that when you see the involvement he had in the goal, and the fact that Celtic, we've all been saying, why aren't youth getting a chance? And now Brendan's saying, well, youth's getting a chance. Nobody says that youth cannot get a chance at Celtic. You know, you go through your football education, as Brendan said, has said many times before. Go through your football education, go out on loan, do what Callum McGregor did as a young lad. Come into the first team, go out on loan, improve as a player, and then come back to Celtic and stake your claim for a place. In 2 seasons' time, what if it was to be the case that we hadn't bought another striker for 2 seasons because Johnny Kenny turns out to be an absolute diamond in the rough of the Celtic Academy, and he goes on to have some fantastic goal scoring exploits, especially between now and the end of the season, and it makes us then forget all about Kyogo, and then it then starts us reminiscing of previous Celtic players that have came through in the striker department. And Brendan Rodgers says he loves developing players, and he's only focused on developing the players. He's not going to let the negativity about Kyogo going. And then the interesting part was them saying, you need to know the full story. You need to know how long this has been going on for. And when the manager says that, it means that, that there is truth to the stories that were going around about Kyogo wanted away in the summer. If Celtic could have got Mateus or another striker in the summer, maybe Kyogo would have been away in the summer. You never know. But people have been also moaning about the fact that Kyogo, well, let's forget about Kyogo, he's gone. It's all about Johnny Kenny now, and I think that we've got a new hero. We've got a new hero to worship. And before people will start saying, oh, but the youth are rubbish, when we played them in Aston Villa, there was young players came on and they were absolute rubbish. I think that we can be too quick as fans to jump on our own. And let's just hope that it's all positive from now on. For me, it's just positivity from now on. It's back to business. The transfer window is one of these occasions that Brendan Rodgers even said it. You're emotionally attached to the transfer window. There's emotions that can rise, and when he was a younger manager, that maybe took a wrong attitude within his thinking. And if he's pissed off, the players are pissed off. He's a motivational manager now. He's all about improving the players, motivating the players, getting into the mindset of the positivity of the players, which I think, for one, is absolutely fantastic for Brendan to stand up and say that today. And I think that we're in safe hands. There is obviously a situation that they need to resolve in the background at Celtic with regards to Brendan Rodgers' thought. Wilson QW, fly the flag. Yep, fly the flag. We've got a full front line of Irishmen fighting for the cause, and that should be good enough for us. Do you know, it's something that brings a smile to my face. Brendan is more wiser now, says Joseph. It is that, and I think that when he spoke about his previous time here at Celtic, he gave an indication to the previous time when he was at Celtic, and the fact that he was a bit pissed off when we didn't get McGinn. That's what he was talking about. I mean, Brendan is he can wax lyrical about things without actually saying the thing. He would. I think if Brendan was going to have another career, he could have been a songwriter or a poet, because he can talk about situations without actually naming the situation and talking about the situation. And I think today, talking about the fact that previously that a situation might have pissed him off, and he's come out the window pissed off, and it affected the players, and it's affected the motivation, and he's not going to let that happen. He's in his happy place at Celtic, and the fact that he's spoken about we'll have to review the transfer window. The last time Brendan Rodgers reviewed the transfer window led to Mark Lawwell and co getting the boot. So I think you'll see, or you might not see, but I think there will be another summit with our esteemed owner. I think you'll see another Dublin-style summit where Brendan, and I don't know when the next international break, but guarantee it's on the next international break. There's going to be an international break coming up soon. In fact, it's not next month. It's usually February. There's an international break. It'll be interesting to see if there's another summit with Brendan Rodgers going over to Dublin to sit down with the power brokers and Brendan just tell his side of the story. And it'll be interesting. We'll never get to know what will be said, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of. I'm just laughing at Coyle. I'm going to start. I think we all need that coming into the end of the transfer deadline day. It's all about entertainment, and it's we've created a monster with the whole deadline day thing. I think everyone does it. Skid Pants Bobby, is that all you could come up with? Is that all you could really come up with? Jesus. You come onto the channel and that's all you can come up with. God. Anyway. It's in March, Baz, right? That's better. I mean, it's in March, so we've got an international break in March, and I think that'll be the time. That'll be the time that there'll be the review. I think that emotions will be too high just now, and Brendan Rodgers has said, look, we need to review things, and we need to review things going forward. He did say, now Brendan did admit that the squad is lighter. The squad is lighter than he would have liked. Tight, I think that was the word they used. Yes, it was a bit tight, the squad. A bit tighter than he would like. So Brendan Rodgers has admitted that whilst all these players went out on loan and we reduced the squad size, we maybe just reduced it a little bit too much. But he's not going to dwell on it. We do have the possibility that if needed, Dyson can play as an attacker, but he doesn't want Dyson to play as a striker. And that was the good thing that I heard from Brendan today. He doesn't want Dyson to play as a striker. You take Dyson away as a striker, you're missing out as many goals that he's scored from the wing. You're missing out those goals. And then he's like, you need to bring in another winger. And that's what he didn't want to do. So, Jason says, have you had your supper? What did you eat? I had steak and chips. Big, huge, juicy steak. It was patatas bravas. It wasn't chips. It was patatas bravas and steak. Spin. I don't want to blame anyone, says Paul Baird, Brown Warrior. Right, talking about spin. I did put on the Celtic video when it came out. I thought it was an interesting interview from Brendan. And this was some of the responses. And Dave Ferguson says, basically, he said we could afford his target, but never brought in his target, which is right. He will be off at the end of his contract. That's an interesting one. Do you think that Brendan will be off at the end of his contract? He's clearly raging, says Max Stark 480. He's clearly raging, but he's not going to let the media know. This is very true. And I think this is what's good about Brendan Rodgers this time, is that if he is disappointed, he's definitely not walking out on Celtic just now. He's happy at his job and he's got a job here to do. And he will deal with it. He will make sure it's dealt with in-house, which I think is good. Chunk Monks or whatever it is, his name is, he pointed the fingers without pointing the fingers. Recruitment and negotiations are atrocious. This sits squarely with Michael Nicholson and Peter Lawwell. Time and time again, they are at the helm, and the same old story. It looks like Mark Lawwell was the fall guy, and the real culprits are still entrenched in our club. I've no idea if Peter Lawwell Peter Lawwell should have nothing to do with contract negotiations or anything to do with that type of thing at the club, because it's no longer within his remit. So it does come down to Michael Nicholson and Chris Mackay. And Michael Nicholson and Chris Mackay are a chip off the old block when it comes to transfer dealings. And then the next comment, in a nutshell, amateur hour is never far away at Celtic. Nobody even mentioned what happens if you get injuries. They keep to key players, and then you start dropping points. You've still got places like Tynecastle, etc. to go to. The squad isn't beating Rangers again this season because he's not changing his tactics. Do you think that, are you worried about any of the games coming up? Are you worried about playing any of the other teams in the SPFL? I'm not worried about us playing other teams. We've still got enough within the squad to be able to do it. It's unfortunate that we didn't add to the squad to the numbers that Brendan was hoping for. But like Brendan says, it's over now. There's nothing we can do about it now. There's absolutely nothing. The window's closed. It's we just get on with it, and we need to back the manager. I'm sure that certain factions of the fans will will tell the board exactly how they feel, and by means of a banner or two. I'm sure they will tell the board exactly how they feel at some point in games coming up, and the fact that we aren't in the position that we thought that we wanted to be in, but we've still got enough to win this league and win the Scottish Cup, and that's all that really matters just now. It's now just about getting to the end of the season and still being as successful. And I think that when Adam Eder starts scoring goals, and you've got two Irishmen up the front scoring goals for Celtic, there's a big, massive chunk of our support that are going to be over the moon that you've got two Irishmen flying the flag at the front of the ship called Celtic. And it's not like Ibrox, it's not sinking. The ship is the ship is steaming forward at the fastest pace than ever. I wonder if we'll sing a sloop song. Don't. Alan McCoist has just started on Talk Shite that Brendan is now a sloop taker. He'll know all about soup takers, wouldn't he? Maida would have been a bigger loss for me. I said that. We said that before the window. I said the most important player in our squad this season, we said it, I said it before December, is Dyson Maeda. He is the most important player in the squad this season to Celtic, for what he gives you from the wing and from what he gives you in front of goal. It's not been about Irish, it's about being good enough, says David. Well, we'll soon see. Kaiser, bad singing had me howling earlier. Who was singing? I was the singing earlier, Kaiser. Kaiser, actually, I've been looking at video.ninja. I'm going to speak to you about it later. And then we're going to get Kaiser on the show. I finally found a way to get people on the show that I'm happy with, that I can have full control over. Anyway, it's all about being Irish, says Parkhead Boy. The stadium's falling apart and haven't got a piss to pit in, never mind players. Irrelevant FC. Yeah, they are that. But anyway, the fact that Daniel Cummins, this is it's a bit of a strange one, this one, because although Daniel Cummins has not signed a new Celtic contract, it's been alleged that he hasn't signed a pre-contract agreement with West Ham. He hasn't signed the pre-contract agreement yet. It's not been confirmed, but you think if it was confirmed, West Ham would have confirmed it. Brendan Rodgers spoke a couple of weeks ago and said that all the young players at Celtic will have the opportunity, and they should look at Callum McGregor as an example. But there's news coming out today that it's a bit of a strange one, because they said that it came out saying that Daniel Cummins had agreed a deal with them, but nothing's been signed yet. So I wonder if that were, who cares? Daniel Cummins will become irrelevant. Anyway, Brendan Rodgers, talking about Kyogo, says that I'm not going to get overly excited. Adam Ida is our number 1 striker. Johnny Kenny is our number 2 striker. And for me, that's if the manager thinks that that's good enough, that's fine. We get on with it to the end of the season. We've only had 2 strikers all season. When you look at it, we've had Kyogo and Adam Ida. Now it's the chance of one of the younger players. That was responsible. Jesus. Jota on the wing, Maeda's a striker. I'm not worried. Listen to what Brendan says. Dyson is not going to be a striker. He's not going to be there on purpose on a week-to-week basis. You have got 2 strikers. Dyson will be third choice striker if needed. He doesn't want to play Dyson as a striker, because if you take him away as a winger, you're then taking away goals for the wing. So it is what it is. The board are planning for stadium redevelopment, a new Elite Adidas deal to be announced, and qualifying for the Champions League next season, says Mikey. I'm not too sure about that. But as what's happening with Marco Tilio, he's out on loan. I'll tell you now exactly when he's out on loan till. He is out on loan until the end of June this year. So he's due to come back to Celtic at the end of June this year. But he'll not come back. But he's still registered. He's still got his number registered. So Celtic maybe think he may come back. Well, they obviously think that he's going to come back. It's where Lewis Palmer has been stripped of his number, and Lewis Palmer's got an option to buy. There's no other Celtic player that's loaned out that has an option to buy. There's no option to buy for Melbourne City FC when it comes to Marco Tilio. Marco is number 23. There isn't an option to buy, so there's obviously he's coming back at the pre-season unless he's sold. Lewis Palmer is not coming back at pre-season. Lewis Palmer's got the option to buy, and Lewis Palmer has indicated to the club that he'll not be back. So that's why Lewis Palmer's number was taken off him, and that's why it took Jota a couple of days to get the number 7. Anyway, the players that are out on loan are the only players that are out on loan to improve themselves is young Matthew Anderson, young Ben Summers, who I think is still going to be a fantastic prospect for Celtic. He's due to come back. And then young Lenny, who's a defender as well, who's at Ayr United with our captain, who will make him a better player. And then young Toby at Dunfermline. young Toby at Dunfermline has been doing quite well in Dunfermline, I do believe. But anyway, it is all about the game tomorrow night. We've not even spoke about the game tomorrow night. That's how the same board that are building the hotel for years now. So yeah, don't even get me started on that one. Right, and in the comments section, and we're not even going to speak about the team because I think the team for tomorrow night, my team for tomorrow night is Kasper Schmeichel in goals, Alistair Johnston, and one of the full-backs, Greg Taylor, the other full-back. Austin Trusty will be the centre-back, along with Cameron Carter-Vickers, who will be centre-back as well. In the middle of the park, you'll see Arne Engels starting, and also Rio Hatate and Callum McGregor. We've no idea if James Forrest is fit because the manager was asked about is everyone available, and he's not got his number yet. Chilpil, it's not come out with his number yet. Celtic haven't updated the website, and they haven't done anything with his number. So he only got to Glasgow today, so photographs and everything will get taken today. All that stuff will be taken today to then go out tomorrow. So hopefully you'll find out his number tomorrow because he's going to be in the squad tomorrow night. But anyway, in the midfield, I've just said that we're talking about James Forrest. James Forrest, he said that everyone that is fit is available, whatever that means. Everyone that's fit is available. Maybe Cameron Carter-Vickers is still not fit. You never know. But anyway, James Forrest looks like that he will be out. And then the front three, I think the front three tomorrow will be Nico Kuhn, Dyson Maeda and Adam Ida, with Jota starting from the bench again, Yankee come on from the bench, and Johnny Kenny to get some game time. We'll start seeing a lot more of Johnny Kenny because Brendan Rodgers said that he's investing everything into the players that's here, as he always says. Brendan always says that. Trusty can't be trusted. Can't be trusted. Let's just see what happens over the next 4 months. Anyway, what do you think the score line will be tomorrow? And now that we've said that team, I think the team still picks itself. I mean, it's and it's Dundee. It's against a team that we drew 3-3 away. What do you think the score will be tomorrow? So back at Celtic Park, it's the rearranged game for the one that was called off, the Day of the Wind. It'll be interesting to see how many people turn up for this game with it being rearranged, because there's a lot of people that obviously travel from quite a far away. So don't complain about seats being empty tomorrow, because the picture's out now, Baz. Is it? Has it just came out then? Videos came out with them. No number. Just a video I'm talking. An hour ago. Picture of him with his shirt on. Oh, it's number 15. Number 15. Yeah, he's got number 15. There it is. Schloop 15. Sounds like a drink, doesn't it? Another player that's going to say that I played for Celtic. Let's get him up on the screen in front of Rodgers. I never even thought to check that because I was too busy an hour ago. So there he is. He's number 15. There he is. Schloop 15. Suppose it's better than 7-Up. Oh dear. There he is, Schloop 15. So there he's got his number. But anyway, when you look at that, what do you think the score line will be tomorrow? Let's get back into the comments. Anglo Inertia is going for 3-0 Celtic. Something Today is going for 6-0 Celtic. Wilson QW is going for 5-0 Easy. Please drop 100 references for Greg Taylor. Big shot was a prod, for fuck's sake. Who's talking about Hun for Taylor? Who's talking about Hun for Taylor? I'm not even getting involved in that. Tommy's saying 2-0 to Celtic. Schlupp to start all day long for me. Get him on for Bayern. Don't know about that. Stephen Johnson's going for 4-1. Well, I hope you're good, Stephen, and I hope your health's keeping up. I know that you're also going through some issues, and I hope you're doing well, mate. And Willie's going for 2-0. Ida and Maida to start. Chilpel says that he really rates Yang. He rates Yang, and how did that just speed it up? Kenny to score tomorrow, 5-0. Celtic to win 7-0. 7-0? I don't think that we're going to win 7-0 tomorrow, Kaiser. Not a chance. Hat-trick for Johnny Kenny, Adam Ida tomorrow. Can someone fix CCV's toe once and for all? Yep, they've got humped 6-0 by the Jambos, so hopefully we can do similar tomorrow. Here's hoping. Kenny might get some time at the end of the Rafe Rovers game. No, I think he'll get game time tomorrow. Brendan Rodgers needs to start bringing him on every game. So we'll wait and see with that. Anyway, Chris Murray says it's 3-1, Celtic 3, Dundee 1. Stephen Johnson's all good. Lovett says 5-0. 5-0? Really? I'm not too sure. McCown to cripple Cameron. 3-0, 8-0. 8-0? 8-0. That's an interesting one. Tony says hail, hail. I'm going to go with Celtic. My prediction is, I think the Celtic team are going to come out fighting for Brendan tomorrow. I think the Celtic team are going to come out to prove a point that there's life after Kyogo. And I think that Brendan Rodgers will fire the players up, because let's go out and prove there's no negativity within this squad. Let's go out and prove that this squad is still as good as it was before Kyogo left. Let's go out and prove to this fan base that we can still play fast attacking football. So I think it's going to be Celtic 4, Dundee 0. Because then Dundee will then sit back. So I'm going to go for 4-0. Alan Stevenson's going for 5-0. Danny Cassidy's going for 4-0. Williams going for 4-0. Brad is going for 7, with Ida to score 4. If you want to... Oh, Jesus. I have no idea what you're going on about Huns and stuff. I'm not even reading it. I believe that the squad is better. We're predictable. We are winning by the odd goal. And the new squad will play a different, stronger game. It won't be bullied like recently. The new squad? It's not really a new squad, is it? It's the same squad, but just a reduced squad. And Brendan said the squad is a little bit tighter than what he would have wished for. So, with that being said, I think there's a lot to look forward to. I will be live first thing tomorrow morning, once again, as per normal. 4-0, Hoopy Dog, he says. Jamesy Boy is 40,318. No idea what that is. Pat says 4-1. Space is going for 5-1 as long as Ida keeps scoring. 52,000. What he's talking about? How many people will be at the game? One of those days. It'll be one of those days tomorrow. Big Diz saying 55,000. I take it you're now talking amongst yourself about how many people you'll play at the game. I think you're right, Baz. Players will be fired up tomorrow for the game. I think so. I think that the players and Brendan Rodgers will want to go out and prove a lot of people wrong. They want to prove the negativity that is within some sections of the fan base and the media, and that it's not affecting the players. And the Brendan Rodgers and the backroom staff know that we're in touching distance. We are in touching distance of the SPFL title. It's all to play for as far as, you're talking about the attendance. The attendance will be down tomorrow because it's a rescheduled game and it's a midweek game. And with the Champions League game next week, people will keep a hold of their cash to pay for the ticket for the Champions League game and then go to the Champions League game next week. It's as simple as that. It's Dundee. Engels, Kuhn, Maida for 2. The defence is a bit shaky, so he's going for 3-1. Simon Murray to rough up Trusty again. I don't believe that. Anyway, on that note, I am done and dusted for the night. Thank you to everyone who has watched the video tonight, and thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. And for the good time Charlie ones who just subscribed to get us over 21,000, yous will be back, yous will subscribe. And on that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are. All around the world, we're on the road again. We're on.
Lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the lit. Roll up to the